Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel and part 3, can't believe I'm saying this, of my chat with Louis. I just am gutted that it's over, to be honest. I've really enjoyed watching this back and getting it posted for you all to watch. We had such an amazing time when I spent time at his agency training him. I had such a great chat with him. It was amazing to catch up, hear all about his successes. And I think what you're going to really enjoy in today's video is we also talk about some of the challenges and things that I suppose he's learnt going through his first, which I think now is kind of coming up to 7 months in his job, but at the time when we spoke he was on about 5 or 6, I think. So have a watch. As always, let me know what you think and if you've got any questions. I'll say it at the end, but I'm going to say it again as well. If you're a new watcher to my channel, I know I get lots of new visitors, remember to hit that subscribe button. We've got some fantastic videos coming up, whatever level of recruitment you're at, that's going to help with your learning and development. So if you turn on the notifications, you'll find out straight away when I've loaded something. Let's get cracking with the video and finish my chat with Louis.
What do you think has been the biggest learning curve for you then? It might have been difficult at the time, but what you've learned from it has then helped you progress so much more.
Yeah, so one thing that I did initially struggle with was I was working for myself for 8 years effectively, and I was in full control and I was in charge of everything. Everything that I did in life was up to me.
Your own boss, yeah.
Yeah, and dealing with clients and things like that, they had something, I had something that they wanted. And I'm not saying that I took advantage of that and spoke to them how I wanted, but I did have a certain level of control over stuff. Whereas going into recruitment, I think a lot of companies do see us as a necessary evil at times. We are helpful, but at the same time, we do have to be very cryptic and very conservative in the way that we do communicate with a lot of these people. I'm not saying that we have to kiss anybody's arses. I'm not saying that at all. But there is a certain level of communication and sort of tiptoeing around certain points that you have to bear in mind when speaking to hiring managers and things like that. You can't say what you want to say a lot of the time. It's the hiring manager's decision to hire somebody, not ours.
Yeah.
And that, in my mind, I'm like, I thought he was really good. Like, the feedback that you've kind of given me didn't quite line up with everything that we spoke about. I think you made a bad decision. Can't say that. It's the hiring manager's decision. You can push back to a certain level, but you can't say exactly what you want to say because you need to keep these customers happy. It's their job, it's their decision, it's their business at the end of the day.
So did you find that quite hard?
Yeah, at the start, yeah, because I'm a know-it-all. Like,
and you're quite open with your community. You're quite open. You're an honest person anyway, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just like very sort of. I don't take things to heart myself. I'm very laid back in the way that I am, and it's just like when you're dealing with people, especially through email and Teams and things like that, and you missing all of that certain level of communication.
You haven't got tone of voice. You haven't got eye contact, body language. It's all taken out, isn't it?
There's so much that isn't there, and it's like, how do I word this in a way that's constructive, positive, and will come across as being really good and doesn't sound like I'm trying to dictate things?
You could just write, "You're wrong."
Yeah, that's what I mean. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I think you've made a really, like, it's like, but it's doing that for email.
Yeah.
So I needed a lot of guidance at the start, actually, from Nick, of wording emails properly that don't come across as being not rude. I'm not like that at all. In fact, I'm overly polite about things, but you've got to keep that relationship healthy. And
having that boundary, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's a couple of things that I originally wrote out, and it was, oh, you can't word it like that. And I'm like, why not? This looks all right to me. But then just changing a couple of little lines in the sentence makes it a lot warmer. I've gone around a very long way of trying to explain that, Kate. I was struggling in
a nutshell, the biggest learning curve for me was my communication with hiring managers.
Yeah. Should have just said that, but I always
said that. Just to finish then, what's been your biggest success story so far in your first 6 months?
There's been lots, actually. I don't know. I don't want to sound big-headed, but there's been been a lot
Could
of,
be more than one, if more than one springs to mind.
well, so was in the job on the tools for 2 months. I got newcomer of the year within the company.
Well done.
So at the company
Actually, I think I remember
awards.
you sending me did you get a certificate?
Yeah, I got a
Yeah, you sent it
certificate
to
and a
me.
bottle of champagne. It was nice of
Nice.
them. And then, 200% of target in my first quarter. Hit my first quarter totals already. And I think just I got certified through Microsoft as well, which was good. And then I think just getting way ahead of where they thought I would be. Like now I've built up the trust and the freedom to work flexibly, and nobody's micromanaging me. I'm communicating with hiring managers. I'm just left to it. Not nobody's I still get conversations and training and things like that, but they know now that they can trust me to get the job
Yeah.
done. It was only last week I was given 6 roles, no, in fact 7 roles with one of our biggest partners. So he needed 4 first line engineers, a second line engineer, and a third line engineer. Within a week, I got 8 CVs over for the first liners. He hired 4 of them. 3 CVs over for the second liner. He hired 1 of them, and then 5 CVs for the third liner, and he's interviewing 4 of them now. So I filled 5 out of 6 positions in a week and got him 5 really hard to find people for the third line position.
Amazing.
I think he's really impressed with it.
Just hearing you say that makes me remember / miss that buzz.
Mm.
Do you know, with like just getting the CVs over and then waiting to find out if they've been interviewed and then getting the interview request and then all of that and then
Well, this is it, Kate.
amazing.
I mean, I like the lower level stuff personally because it's quick fire and it's like some other recruiters don't really like that. They like to work on the bigger stuff and take their time and spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. I think I've got like ADHD or something. I'm just on the phone, just banging it out, and it's just. I'm sending over good people. I'm not just sending anybody over. They do have to be good, but within a week, yeah, I've done like 5 placements in the last week.
So you touched on something there, which is obviously you're sending good quality people.
Mm.
So in terms of your candidate development, sort of candidate sourcing, whatever you want to call it, what do you think you're doing that makes you stand out? Because you're obviously doing something.
I think I've been working these roles now for a little while. I just know what good looks like straight away. And I think when you're speaking to a lot of these candidates on the phone, I think just really determining and drawing a line through the passive and active, committed sort of candidates that are on the
Spending time
market.
with the right people.
Yeah, I know straight away. I can feel in somebody's tone, and there's pauses, stuff like that, and it's like I'm just right. He wants that job, so I'm going to do everything I can to get him the job now. I'm spending time with them.
Yeah.
And I think the level of preparation that I'm giving them as well, they're getting an email with all of the small details on LinkedIn profiles for the people that are interviewing them, just really getting them excited and invested.
And invested in you as well, because
Yeah.
you're giving them that level of support.
Yeah. And, along with that email, interview prep questions, following up. Have you done your prep? Right, let's go and smash it out the park. Just getting them up for it. I think that comes from like a motivational sort of PT sort of thing as well. Getting through to people, right, let's fucking get this job now.
They almost probably feel like you're part of it with them. Like it's almost like you're going for the job as well.
Yeah, for sure. I had one of them, a chap called, I better not name him actually, but yes, a lad yesterday got the job, managed to get him some more money as well. And he texts me saying, oh, I couldn't have done this without you. It's like,
oh, it like warms my heart when you get messages like that. I love it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's like,
get a LinkedIn recommendation from that one.
Yeah, I haven't got any LinkedIn recommend. I should text them all because.
Oh, you should. Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, because like I said, they would do it for me as well. But yeah, and it's like when you believe in what you're selling. So I love the products that we talk about, and they eventually end up getting the job. Sometimes when you don't think they will, based on what they've said. I mean, you're absolutely buzzing. I'm like,
yeah,
get in there. my missus is downstairs. I'm upstairs. Go fucking go on. Got the job. But it's not even. I actually prefer that buzz to the actual money. I'm not even thinking about the money. It's not, the money's great, don't get me wrong, but initially I'm like, go on.
Yeah, it's because you root. I used to root so much for some of my candidates. Like, I'd almost get like emotional telling them they got the job because you know how much they want it and stuff. And sometimes they would get emotional. You're sharing such a special moment with them. I'd be like, oh my God, this is just like.
I had one, I won't name him. I loved him. Absolutely loved him. I've got to admit, I didn't think that he would get the job. Like, I really didn't. I would probably give him, based on where I thought he was at technically, I was like a 2 out of 10. But the company really needed people, and he ended up getting it. And it was like, when I told him on the phone, oh, he was absolutely buzzing. He started crying.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because he'd not been in the country for very long, and he was struggling to find something.
Oh, bless
but he ended up getting it, and but then again, on the flip side, I will end this now, Kate. I know you got a life to get on with. on the flip, you should never have got me on. On the flip side, you know, really got invested into this candidate 2 days ago. He didn't get the job. I thought he would.
Hard.
I had to call him up and let him know. And it was difficult conversation to have, to be honest, because we've got him you get people so excited for these roles, and then you've got to be the one to bring them back down again. And that's something that, if you're going to ask me another thing that I've struggled with, that would probably be it. Having that ruthlessness of just, sorry, it didn't work out this time, and not being overly emotional about it, just delivering that news and then moving on,
Yeah.
Because some of these lads are stuck in this process for 3-4 weeks. It's like,
it's a long time, and it gets. It's a bit of a head fuck, really, isn't it? When you're the person looking for the job, you get so set on these jobs, you do so much work, and you almost, if you get to the final stage, you're almost thinking like, I've got this job now. I've got this job.
Yeah. Well, I've had
a
a discussion with another lad. I think things are looking really positive. I was told that he was going to get an offer. I've let him know that, and this is a learn as well. And the job got pulled last minute. So in his mind, mentally, he was planning for extra salary for his kids. Really tough conversation to have. In fact,
it's not in our control. That's the thing. We're a middleman. We've got to pass on these messages, and as much as we want to change these decisions, there's nothing we can do about it. Sometimes, well, a lot of the time, there's nothing we can do about it.
No. So that's another thing that I've struggled with. But again, I think with time, you sort of harden up a little bit.
Get more resilient. Really quickly, what one piece of advice would you give to someone new to recruitment, like in their first year?
I think what we touched on earlier, just have some kind of direction of where you want to go with it. I mean, recruitment is so large, the whole industry. I mean, I want to go into recruitment. Well, what do you want to do within recruitment?
There's 27,700 agencies in the UK, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So actually do some research. And I know that a lot of young people might be in a position where they can't really afford to wait. They need money. I've been there. I mean, this time round, I could wait a little bit and take my time with it. But I think just have some direction, brainstorm, write some positives, negatives, actually find out a little bit about the industry, which is what I did before. And I was lucky 50% of my friends are recruiters. So I kind of knew a lot about the industry anyway.
But if you don't have any friends in recruitment, go out and find some people in recruitment and speak to them.
Well, yeah, and I also read an audio book called Recruitment 101, and that will tell you a lot about the industry, good and bad. And it will make you consider things in a little bit more detail. So there's loads of audio books out there. There's another one by a guy called Stephen Guest.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So Steve Guest has got, I think it's called Top Biller, his first one. I think he's got 3.
Top Biller.
I think he's got 3 books.
Top Biller was another one that I read.
And actually, if you want to hear more from Steve Guest, anyone watching, I've got a chat with Steve Guest on the channel. You can learn a lot from Steve just from watching those. I think there's 3 videos that I've put on. But yeah, he's got 2, I think it's 2 books now he's got, with a 3rd to come. And that's also going to give you a good insight as well. Yeah,
just insight, and also it will get you motivated as well. You got to have a why. Why are you doing this? Are you just doing it to fuel your weekends? You know, just want to go out the piss at the weekend. Fine. If that is your why, then go for it. For me, I want to have nice things. I want to have a nice garden. I've just got my decking outside.
I knew you were going to drop that in.
I want to have nice holidays, and you know, I'm probably going to try and start a little family soon. That is my why. You need to figure out, why do you want to do this? It can be tough. You've got to have a reason why you want to pick up that phone.
Good advice.
So that's it. That's part 3 done. That's my chat with Louis finished. I have just loved this series. I have really enjoyed, as I said at the start, listening to how well he's getting on since his training, all about his successes. It just really warms my heart and makes me smile. So for anybody watching that's new to recruitment, this is proof you can do so well in your first year. And for anyone watching with slightly more experience, I hope this has also provided some inspiration as well, especially if you're managing people and bringing on trainees, what they can achieve and how great it can be to bring newbies into our industry. Now, I've got a live coming up next week, another LinkedIn live show, so keep an eye out for that. There'll be more educational videos coming fortnightly as well, so keep an eye out for those. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. You will find out as soon as I load a video. You will get a notification, and you don't want to miss out on these. There's some great ones coming up, lots of free training and advice. Thank you so much for watching today. If you've got any questions at all, or you'd like to book in a free brainstorming discovery call, pop me a message. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram, and we can get something sorted. See you soon. Bye.